What's up? Fitness coach and personal trainer Rashad DeBose here. So, I'm a personal trainer. I have been training since 2017, and in my career, I've done a lot of work for myself. I've worked for a couple of different companies. Today, I'm going to be talking about Planet Fitness in general and what it means to be a trainer at the job. I'm going to highlight a couple of daily duties, what you can expect, pay structure, team you'll be working with, the environment you'll be working with, and the people. So we're gonna have a good conversation, get some good insight, and I'm gonna leave y'all with some good tips so you know if you are a trainer and you're looking to work there, what you can kind of expect. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, and drop a comment so I can highlight and I can answer any questions. I always like to say, if you don't use it, you lose it. So the more you poke your brain, the better I become. All right, let's get to the video. So we're here at Planet Fitness Towson. This is the one that I was working in the early 2022. I'm gonna touch base, get inside, show you a little bit about what the space actually looks like if you decide you actually want to work here or have worked here, so you can get a kind of refresher. The people that are in there they market generally to the casual gym goers, people who aren't too serious, but all walks of life, different fitness experiences come to this gym because it's universal. I mean, they're everywhere. I think as of July 24th, 2022, there's like 2,200 in just the US alone. That's crazy. It's a lot, but they're doing something right. So we're going to talk about the experience. So a lot of the job is primarily teaching classes. Probably about 80% of your day you're going to be teaching some form of a class. Like there's a class called PF360 Strength and Burn class, one where you burn a lot of calories. You'll use this machine over here. Most Planet Fitnesses have, not all, but they'll have their own little variation. And then you'll have a strength class, and that's kind of, they have a structure that they want you to follow with those, but they give trainers leeway to kind of dictate what they want to do inside the perimeters. Strength being more strength-induced exercises, timed exercises, and burn being more burning calorie kind of exercises. Outside of the classes, you do also do one-on-ones. They call them design your own programs. And that's where you sit down with members and you talk about what their goals are. They can range anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes. At Towson in Maryland, the one I was at, it was a 30-minute window. And then they also have this thing called new member orientation, where they pretty much give new members the opportunity to meet the trainer and gives you some insight to meet the new members and get them engaged or whatnot. So that's primarily what you do on the floor anyway. Like I said, you'll probably be teaching classes. You have access to the whole gym to wherever you want to teach them, but I primarily did most of my classes here. They range from like upper body, lower body, core, like I said, burn, strength, even have some stretch classes. So you have a little bit of variety of what you can do, but that's what your day-to-day is going to be. Classes, meeting one-on-ones, and doing new member orientations. That's your entire day. If you have any downtime, they want you to keep their members engaged, keep everyone happy, keep their place clean, keep and energy up, keep everyone motivated to keep going. So that's primarily of what you do in the scheme of, like I said, the data. The best selling points for a trainer about Planet Fitness is that the job is hourly, so you don't have to worry about like having too many breaks in your schedule. You get paid a set amount, and then you just come in and you do all your hours, you get to roll. So you get to practice a lot in regards to the different techniques that you want to do and whatnot. The breaks are only about a half hour, so they're not too long when it comes to your day, so it gives you some leeway. The one cool thing though is that for the members, people who join, personal training is already free, and they're all group classes. So in between like 2 to 5 people, there can be one if only one shows up, but they really want it to be like 2 to 5 and whatnot. But like I said, it's free to the membership. So where most places you go to a gym, you got to pay for training, it's completely free. All group classes though, no one-on-one. The only one-on-one is that BYOP. One thing I definitely do like about Planet Fitness is that they give you a team. The team kind of helps you, front desk management. If you have a good team, I had a wonderful team here. Will was the manager, Tom Reed was the assistant manager. They held it down. We kept a great environment, so you really get to nourish your own brand as a trainer. I think the best thing you can get out of this is coming in, getting a lot of experience working with various different people of various different ages. Like I work with, some kids who was just coming out of high school, athletes in college, and some pre-marathon runners in their late 60s, whatnot. So you get a lot of exposure, you get a lot of good insight on how to deal with those things. So the way they do their pay is if you're not certified, they'll give you, where I started it was like $15 an hour, not too much. And then once you get certified, they give you an extra $16. And you don't have too much room to grow in there. I like to think of whatever role you're in, if there's someone higher than you, your pay can't surpass their pay in that sense, right? So if I made $16 an hour and the manager made $18 an hour, my chance of getting 19 through just my own experience and growth and longevity, very slim. Possible, very slim. May take some years to get into. In my experience being there, one thing I would say for sure is they should probably have it to where gyms have multiple trainers. I think they could benefit that a lot, because even though there is only simple tasks that you need to do, it can feel very overwhelming very fast. So that's something that you can work on for sure. For me, I was able to manage it pretty well, but I felt the effects of having a lot of people and no real management admin system to keep track of them other than checking their names in for classes, because that's one of the things you have to do, kind of keep accountable for everyone that shows up in your class as part of like your daily duties outside of random checks, submitting your paperwork and stuff like that, because those are things that you have to do and they will write you up if you're not doing them. So outside of the classes, like I said, the one-on-ones and the new member orientation, there are some admin tasks that you want to be mindful of, meetings and stuff like that, and can kind of play into, what it feels like you're doing and what you're getting compensated for. But I like to say, have a specific goal in mind if you do plan on going for this place. I wanted to help at least 500 people touch their lives in a way they can get some information, get some value, and actually start to make change. Luckily, I was able to do that. I was fortunate enough. I met some amazing people who did some extremely great work, and I learned a lot about myself too, my own direction of style, how I coach. So it was a grand experience because I made it there. So you got to take that in mind when you consider if you want to work at this place. One thing I forgot to mention, there is a role above personal trainer, which is called FTSM, Fitness Trainer Support Manager. It's like the manager that actually oversees the trainers. And in my experience, my FTSM, or Fitness Training Support Manager, oversaw about 10 different locations, so all the trainers kind of reported to her. And that'd be your next role if you wanted to look to progress into staying with the company and growing from there. The pay structure probably jumps. I think they're more of salary, and it's in the 40 to maybe even 38 to 45 range, if I remember correctly, $1,000 a year in terms of pay. And they, like I said, oversee the different trainers, kind of is helping them, guiding them along, like what to do, how to do your job. So it's not something where you'll get to the job, you just be expected to do, everything. Unless you have the skills and they allow you to. That's kind of what I did. But you will have someone to actually support you in your role and help guide you through the process. If I had to set up a pros and cons list, it looks something like this. Pro, you get tons of exposure, train various different people of all walks of life, so you really get to learn and understand and develop, because you'll be exposed to various different people. Now, it's in a group class setting, but it also forces you to be more attentive of form and whatnot. And then the other pro would be the time, right? If you're someone who likes to go to work, do work, and then leave and don't want too many breaks in between, that'd be a good benefit for you, because like most training jobs or at gyms, private locations, what have you, let's say if you get clients, you might get one client at 9, you might get another at 11, you might get another one at like 12:30, and you have those breaks in between where you're not getting paid. That's not the case at Planet Fitness, because you clock in and you clock out, right? And you're just working in between. So that's a benefit there. If I had to make a cons list, you don't really know who's going to show up to class, how many people is going to show up to class. People sign up, but when people actually show up, you got to kind of adjust to need that, right? If you have a certain mindset of how you want the class to go based on certain people, 2 or 3 other people could show up and then boom, you're stuck with that, right? And then another con could be you're not really a salesperson, but they really want you to be in people's faces. Like, they don't say it, they try not to enforce that, but they want you to talk and attend new people every day. They want you engaging with people on the floor. They like to say keep it easy and keep it interesting, but they really want to fuel people into the classes. So you got to be mindful of that, and you got to be okay with being on the floor and engaging with people. You have to have some type of personality, personal skills, personality for it, if you will. So that's definitely a con there. And then there's no real room for growth within the training aspect outside of becoming a manager, that FTSM I was talking about, Fitness Training Support Manager. So if you want to develop your skills and nurture them in a grander scale, you're really only restricted to teaching classes, doing the one-on-ones, and the new member orientations. They don't really give you too much room to educate through like maybe certain slides, host seminars. They don't give you room to do that. You have the ability if you have a good team and people who can kind of network with you, but the company structure itself doesn't really reward you with that. So that can be a fight that you end up fighting. That's a fight that I had. I wanted to implement so much. But within the confines of the company, they're like, we want you to just focus on classes and get people in. So be mindful of that. I think you could benefit from this role if you're someone who wants to get exposed with a lot of different people, various different styles. You want to understand what it means to work in a group class setting. You want to be with a gym that's pretty much everywhere. You don't have to worry about having a schedule of 9 break, 11 break. If those are the things that you're looking for, you could benefit a lot from this role, because they're very accessible. They're all over. Like I said, they have various different people, various walks of life in there, so you get exposed to a lot. and you really get to learn and challenge yourself. I learned a lot about myself through training group classes. I think it was beneficial, and the experience definitely helped me nurture my own skills as a trainer. So if you are considering the job, I definitely say, take it with a grain of salt. Obviously, anytime you do anything, take your own intuition, do your own research, but definitely go into there with the intention of doing something, so that when you feel overwhelmed, you can kind of use that intent to kind of help you go through, because it is very overwhelming as time goes on. So hopefully that gives you some good insight on how to proceed forward with working at Planet Fitness as a fitness trainer anyway. Thank you so much for those of you who have watched. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down in the comment section below so I can touch base with any questions you may have. This was coming from a personal training experience. I'll also touch base about Planet Fitness from a person who wants to go to the gym and achieve a goal kind of experience. And that's a whole different ball game, because your approach is a little different. So look out for that one. All right, see you guys.